What's going on, everybody? It's your boy, the uncrowned Otaku. Latest chapter of Kengan Omega came out, and as if the connector wasn't already OP enough, we find out that pretty much this whole fight, he really hasn't been breathing. And his whole excuse is why I'm putting him on another level of competition. The connector is up there with the likes of Yujiro Hanma from Baki and the granddad from History's Strongest Disciple. And Loki, the connector, might be above both of them. He's talking to because Mukaku had pumped all that CO gas in there. And the dude was like, yeah, my previous version discovered that every breath you take brings you closer to death. So the answer was simple. We're just gonna stop breathing. Now, we couldn't perfect it, but we got damn near close. This dude, so ever since he entered the home, he hasn't been breathing. We know that. Well, he probably took a breath upon first step because the gas affected him minimally. That's why we saw his leg drop. But he hasn't taken a breath since then. And he's fighting. Have y'all ever tried to fight your heart out and not breathe? Not even necessarily fight your heart out, because the connector's not fighting his heart out, but to fight against somebody who's giving it their all and you not breathe. The connector grabbed a sword. Mukaku then used Indestructible to bang his arm down to try to get the sword to slice through his body, and the connector still held it in place while not breathing. Have you ever tried to stop the force of something coming at you while not breathing? It's tough to hold your breath that long. Like a linebacker coming at you. Of course, you might brace yourself. Boom, upon impact. But once that impact happens, you're going to... This dude was just... still not breathing. Cow, and then beat him down without breathing, too. The fact that he can talk without breathing. He was talking to Mukaku without inhaling is nuts to me. Nobody in this franchise can beat him 1v1. That's a guarantee. The way he handled Mukaku, let's not forget that he made himself weaker on purpose to try to give Mukaku a chance at killing him. And Mukaku, with all his preparation and slide dirty tricks, still couldn't do it. And remember that Mukaku was a top tier fighter. Oma said that his strength was almost unfathomable. And he got played with by the connector. God, and then the connector says Mukaku would be on the level as like Ziaji. Wait, is it Ziaji? Or is that the other one? The current head of the worm. Or Edward Wu, who we thought were top tier competitors. But if Mukaku's on the level of those two, who previously we thought were at the pinnacle, that means they're as strong as Mukaku. The connector would play with all of them. The connector would handle all of them with ease. And let's not forget Edward Wu. It took the Kure clan's leader, the other clan, the other side, the Westward Wu faction or something like that. It took the other clan to come in and some outside forces, all to just kind of kill Edward Wu. He still managed to transfer his personality. But yeah, so if those elite competitors aren't able to really touch the connector, at this point, it don't matter who you bring, bro. The connector is him. The only way they can stop the connector is through peaceful negotiation. Because the connector doesn't look like somebody who can't understand the way the world works. Well, yes, he can't because he's too strong. He literally couldn't understand why his friend said cloning is crossing a line. He didn't get that. But he doesn't look like he's unreasonable. He looks like the kind of guy where if you sit down and what you're saying makes sense, he'll go along with it. I don't think they're going to fight the connector. Because there's literally nobody in this franchise that can keep pace with the connector. They're going to have to sit down and come to a negotiation, which is very plausible. Can happen, will happen, has to happen, because everybody else will get blasted, bro. Don't play with the connector. Low-key, I want to see the connector fight Yujiro Hanma. I think that would be a dope fight, and I think the connector would win, because we've seen Yujiro struggle against, well, did he really struggle? But yeah, it might have been a struggle. We can talk about it in another video. But in the tournament, in the Baki tournament, when Yujiro was fighting the Grandmaster of Chinese Kung Fu, y'all know the old man got some licks in on Yujiro. Yujiro did win the fight, but the old man got some licks in. That makes it show that Yujiro isn't almighty, but he's just the peak of the mountain. The connector is beyond the peak, bro. I think the connector might be... We're taking, without going into the realm of like superheroes and unnatural, I think the Connector might just be the strongest hand-to-hand martial arts character in all of anime.
Okay.
I'm really trying to think who else be fighting like that. I can't think of anybody unless we start getting into the realm of this is like a superhero type-ish. Yeah, the Connector, that's him. I don't know how Kengan's gonna come to terms with this man, but y'all better start thinking. Because when word reaches out, when news reaches them that Mukaku is slaughtered, because the Connector sliced his hand, sliced his body, we did learn, almost forgot this, we did learn, while Ryuki is a clone of the Connector, Oma is a clone of a different Connector. Gao's last words, he asked the dude, why is he so obsessed with Ryuki but not Oma? And the Connector goes, you're gonna die soon anyways, I'll tell you. Ryuki's a clone of me. Oma's not. So that means not only is there one Connector, Mukaku with his dying breath says there's more than one of you. They cut up the you kind of gets faded to black. But that means, why would the Connector imprint his personality on multiple people? I don't understand. And this all goes back to the Purgatory versus Kengan tournament, where the person who thought he was the vessel, on his dying breath, he realized, oh wait, this is the truth. I think it's all going to harken back to that. I don't know what his truth was. But what Connector was Oma cloned from? And are all the Connectors in sync with each other? Or are they like opposing Connector forces? Because if that's the case, I didn't think of this before, but maybe a Connector versus Connector fight would happen, and the good Connector would beat the bad Connector. There's so many different avenues that could really go down this with, but I am interested. Which version was Oma cloned from? We got to get to the bottom of that next, but I feel like this is going to spiral down. We probably won't revisit this for a long time because the only person that knows about it is dead. So it's not like they're going to come back and Oma's going to be like, wait, I'm not a clone of you. I just realized it. No, you got nobody to learn that from, and it's not like the Connector's just going to tell you that out the blue. But yeah, I just really wanted to talk about how strong this man is. And I feel like I've been doing that for the past 3 or 4 videos, but it's just crazy because every chapter he does something that makes me go, oh my God, how can he get stronger? And then he proceeds to get stronger and prove me wrong. He shut my face up. That's crazy. What did y'all think? Comment down below. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, do all that social media jazz. Hey, if you're new here, hit that subscribe button. Join the Uncrowned Kingdom. Become one of us. One of us. One of us. I'll be live streaming randomly throughout the week, so hit that notification bell so you can check in with me when I go live. But in the meantime, in between time, Uncrowned Kingdom. I've been your boy, the Uncrowned Otaku. That's the fire that keeps the kingdom burning safe. And I will see y'all on the next video. Peace, bros. This man said he wasn't breathing during the fight.